This city, for all intents and purposes, belongs to the two of you. I mean, this is your town. You grew up here. I mean, this has got to be kind of disheartening for you to see, you know, the types of crimes that occur.
When I was in high school and in college, when the numbers were over 300 murders a year, I mean, I had friends that were killed. I knew people that were, you know, at the wrong place at the wrong time, and your mistaken identity and struck down.
Right.
The city's a lot safer now than it was in those days, and while I acknowledge that, I'm also motivated that we can become even more safe. I'm having conversation with our faith leaders to see how they can help us to get people to talk to the police when they see something that's going on. I did a ride-along in Northeast not too long ago over the midnight shift, and I came upon a crime scene where there was an individual that was murdered on a porch, and nobody saw anything. There were people in the house. There were people in the steps. There were people walking around. No one saw anything. And if we in Baltimore believe that that's acceptable, we'll continue to have these crimes.
I started my career right here, you know, in this district. And I will tell you, in the 80s and in the 90s, at the height of the open air drug dealing in this city, some of those stretches we just covered, you'd see, we would have come up the block and seen 20 or 30 or 40 people lined up. And you can ride around the city, you're not going to see those huge lines the way you did 20 years ago or even 15 years ago. So we have made incredible progress. Where I get frustrated enormously is an event like Saturday night outside World Trade Center overshadows this sort of thing. And no matter what you say or demonstrate, and you know, there were thousands of people at the Inner Harbor today. It was a beautiful day down there, and we could have 364 of those good ones, let there be one bad one, and it cast this huge pall over it. That's what I think hurts me the most, that you know, it impeaches. These things impeach the great things that are the things that make the city great.
We can do our very best, and there's still going to be individuals that are bringing these guns, and they were very clear. These guns, you know, they're not buying them here. They're being brought into our cities and being used to create havoc in our communities. And, you know, we just have to stay very vigilant. So, of course, I'm holding my breath because I know that we're working really hard, and that still won't solve all of the issues.
You call these guys out. Tell me about that. Why do you speak directly to them? I mean, you're calling them knuckleheads on the air. You're calling what they do stupid.
People of this city are tired of the dancing around. They want action. They want people to dive in and really solve problems, right? And so, hey, how you doing, pal? They want people to dive in and really solve problems. But in a larger sense, I'm trying to send a message to these guys, you, the people who live out here, and the people who live in Catonsville and Westminster and the Eastern Shore when they watch your newscast. So what I want them to know is, it's not everybody in Baltimore. It's not everybody's a criminal. It's not everybody in this block or everybody in that block or everybody out here riding around. It's just a very, very small percentage of the people who disproportionately contribute to the violence in the city.
The way you talk to them, that's really you, isn't it?
It's, look, I'm a cop. I didn't have a PhD. I'm a high school graduate. You know, the grandson of a footman, the great-grandson of a footman. My great-uncle's killed in the Southern District. My brother's a homicide detective here. I'm not a criminologist. I'm just a cop. And, you know, I'd be a failure to pretend I'm something I'm not.
Right.
And
what is the message that you, in doing that, what is the message you want to send to criminals?
I want them to know that we're not fishing neighborhoods with nets, that we're working really, really hard. We're working really hard to come after them specifically, these guys with guns. And that I hold them, we hold them, the community holds them in contempt. and we're going to figure out a giant anvil to drop on their head and haul them away. Why aren't we crazy creeped out about the carnage around these guns and these guys carrying guns in our community? Someone's got to lead that charge. And I don't feel like I'm an evangelist for that call, but damn it, I am the police commissioner. I don't know who else is going to have a stronger voice than me. And standing over crime scene and erecting tape and talking about kids that got shot and, lives that are destroyed. So I will use my position to try to galvanize that attention around that.
Right.
I mean, let someone hurt your family and see how you feel. Maniac, knucklehead, or thug wouldn't be a strong enough word to describe how you feel about it. And so I think I have to speak for a lot of people, and I think I have to say it in just plain English.
I have a goal of eliminating, good evening, how are you? Of eliminating crime, and you focus on that goal. But I'm not discouraged when we don't get there. It just makes me work. It makes me work harder.
Right.
I know that there are too many of our young people who lose productive years of their lives to violence, and there is work to be done there.